This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Happy to catch up with this young lady. Hollyn is her professional name now. I know her as Holly. Many
Yes.
people still know you as Holly. I imagine a number of people that you'll see this weekend know you as the little girl you were from Ross County.
Yes.
Good to have you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I know it's so funny now, having that name and doing music under Holland and I still don't answer to it. When someone says that, I'm like, oh, they're talking to me. But it's so nice to be here and great talking to you today. I'm excited to do this.
One thing that you are being used to answering to now is mommy, right?
Yes, I have a almost 2-year old in March, a little girl. And yeah, it's a total change of pace and in a great way. I'm loving every minute. It's been difficult for sure at times to kind of shift certain things in life, but it's all for the better. It's all good things.
Yeah. Blessings upon you, certainly. The reason we wanted to talk with you, other than to catch up, is you've got home for the holidays. You're coming back to Chillicothe and being in a special performance with another Chillicothe kid in Cory Breth.
Yes. I'm so excited. We're doing it at my favorite place in town, which is Roast Coffee. And Trent and Hillary are amazing, amazing people. And I had the idea just maybe like 2 months ago and thought it would be so fun. I have a newish Christmas album that I've put out in the last year, and we did a live performance of it during COVID as well. And I just thought, man, while I'm home, that would be fun to do. It's a holiday get together type thing, an intimate show, and contacted Trent, and he was so psyched to do that together. And he was like, "Hey, actually, I just talked to Cory Breth about doing a show. Like, why don't we all do one together?" And so I haven't seen Cory in forever. So I'm so excited to get to do a show with him, and he's amazing. So yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be so laid back and just good Christmas vibes.
I was just telling about being in church with you when you were a kid at 12 years old, singing and everything at that point in time, knowing that you
Mhm.
had some type of a great future ahead of yourself. And I also emceed Corey's first extended play CD concert. He had a CD chest. So
Cool.
this takes us back a few years, but still to see both of you with great careers doing what you love to do, and that's music.
Yes, that's so cool. I didn't know you did that with Cory too. Yeah, it's really fun for the gang to kind of just a bunch of hometown kids coming back together and doing something that's just going to bring a little extra dose of joy. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been practicing on our little stand-up piano at home, and it's funny that I obviously can't bring my piano I have here, flying with a toddler as well. So I'm borrowing my parents' um keyboard that I like grew up practicing on. So it'll be really nostalgic this weekend. So I'm excited.
You, of course, have had your career just take off, and you were on the tour circuit with Toby Mac for a number of, gosh, what was it, a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, I was with him like opening specifically for him whatever show he did for probably 2.5 years. And in that time, like started doing my own stuff as well. But it was mainly just getting to follow um his touring cycle and getting to do my own shows and stuff in between. But yeah, that was kind of the point when I got a lot of training as to what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, and some things that I picked up on where maybe they didn't register with me like I was thinking. And so that's kind of when my wheels started turning of how do I want to represent myself through music and what does my journey look like, right? And so yeah, it was really cool right out of high school getting to do that, and it's just kind of been music ever since.
There's nothing wrong with that. And it is
Oh, yeah.
a nice, honorable profession to be in. No question there. Um,
Thanks.
but you're getting to do what you kind of dreamed of doing. What is
Mhm.
that like to, I'm sure there's had to be a several pinch me moments in the last 10 years for you.
Oh, sure. I mean, a ton. My mailman's behind me. He doesn't even know he's in this. He doesn't even know.
Yeah, have him sign a
But
waiver form now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's been such a dream come true. And also, I think with dreams, it's funny because we have expectations of, okay, 10 years, we want our life to look a certain way. Or when we get an opportunity, we think it's going to pan out. Um, how we imagine in our heads, and in a lot of ways, getting to work with such amazing artists and living in Nashville for a long time, that was a huge part of a dream that I had. But even deeper than that, and getting to play like amazing venues, like I got to open for Toby Mac at the Forum in LA, and Madison Square Garden Theater, and like just the coolest places. Got to go to Europe and Guatemala, and just everywhere. So that's been amazing. But then also, when the dust settles, it's kind of like, why am I doing this? Am I just doing it because it's fun? And fun eventually like ends, I feel like, where it's fun for a while, and then you just get tired and you have to remind yourself like why you're doing it. And so I feel like the last probably 7 or 8 years, I've been going, I really want to have a foundation in why I'm doing this, not just because, oh, I love performing, but that's only 1 hour of the whole day. Like, what am I doing with the other 23 hours? And I've really been focused the last few years on creating music, obviously, and finding people to do that with that really resonate with me, and it's just easy to do that with. But really focusing on my emotional, spiritual, just holistic health, because like you said, I got an amazing opportunity, but I was traveling like 200 to 250 days out of the year, and for a young adult, that's a lot. So I've had to kind of step back the last 7 years and really go, okay, what does community mean to me? And how do I have that while I'm chasing my dreams? And also, how do I um keep a healthy family? Because a lot of performers and entertainers, they that's something that kind of gets left on the back burner. And I didn't want that to be true of me. So I basically, my husband and I, we've chosen to kind of take the road less traveled the last few years, and really um focus on having healthy foundations while we're dreaming these really big dreams. And I think those dreams are about to really come into fruition, and we're excited about that. But it's been amazing, just not the straight line you think it's going to be, right? But that's why shows like this are so much fun to do, and coming home and getting that boost of rejuvenation of like, hey, remember when you dreamed of doing this and now you're doing it. So that's really cool. That's really cool to look back on.
Touring like you were at that time early in your career, and as a young Christian, I know that had to be a stress uh, for
Mhm.
spiritually. For many people, it's tough to be on the road, let alone to make sure that you are in tune spiritually, because you're not only entertaining, but you're also helping people express themselves in worship.
Yeah, yeah. It was super interesting, because the genre of music that I got started in professionally is not technically deemed worship music that you would sing in church. It's more like uh the contemporary Christian side, where it's kind of like a Christian artistic expression. It's not necessarily um like a Hillsong or a Bethel music. It's not like these songs are meant for corporate worship. So it's interesting when you're in that world, because really you are just expressing yourself and hoping that it resonates with people as well, which is really just what music is in general. But then also there's this spiritual element to it that as an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old girl who this is the first time I'd ever been living away from home. The first time I'd had real grown-up relationships, friendships, and like romantic relationships, and then learning how to own and communicate with the people I'm in business with. I mean, there was so much to that where, the spiritual is everything. It bleeds into everything. So the practical, the money, the touring, the friends, all of it, it's kind of like, man, I don't know if I want to be the one that's giving the spiritual advice a lot of the time. I mean, because I'm figuring out as well, the only thing that I know is, I had to kind of redefine what success was for me. And that was when people come to one of my shows, I want them to leave asking, what was that? Like, why did I feel that way? And if they know God, that they might go like 1 inch or 2 inches deeper in their relationship and being willing to be more vulnerable with God. That was something that I really struggled with for a long time. And not knowing if my emotions and my spirituality could go together, when really we were created for intimacy with God, and everything. And so for me, I think I tried to compartmentalize my life when I was touring, like, okay, this is Hollyn on stage, and then but Holly backstage was really lonely, even though I had a lot of great people around me, super lonely, and but also felt kind of guilty for feeling lonely, and because everyone's like, wow, this is an amazing opportunity, and it was. For an 18, 19, 20-year-old, it's just a weird thing to have to navigate and come out on the other side of, not jaded, because I think 18, 19, 20, and even beyond, you're still learning and still growing and processing. So for me to have to maybe pour into other people and thinking, oh my gosh, people are looking at me to do this, I kind of had to take that hat off and go, let me just try to do my best with what I've been given. And when I started doing that, the pressure kind of subsided a little bit. But yeah, it was a lot of things to juggle.
Yeah. I was in contemporary Christian radio back in the 10 years into my radio career, and had the opportunity to meet and talk with Stephen Curtis Chapman at the time. And then here a couple of years ago, my wife and I went and met with him backstage in Ashland at a concert that he had there, to see how the road had treated him 30 years later, and to see where he is today from where he was. It's amazing to see how, if you stay true to who you are and to what God has drawn you into, things are going to turn out pretty well for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We saw recently you performed at the Grand Ole Opry with a Christmas concert, the most powerful We Three Kings I'd ever heard. That was awesome. Was
Thank
this
you.
your first time at the Grand Ole Opry, or was this like trip number 15 for you?
No, not trip 15. I had only been once in attendance for an award show. That was maybe like, oh my gosh, 7 years ago. 6 years ago, something like that. But this is the first time I've ever performed at the Opry. It was amazing. My friend Tommy Profit and we came to Nashville around the same time, around like 2014, 2015. And he and his family are from Grand Rapids, Michigan. So being kind of like close-ish in proximity of, like, just culturally coming from Midwest, that was really cool. And we just immediately became friends. And there are some people that I wrote with where it was like, I'm just going to be lifelong friends with these people, no matter if the music works or not. And with Tommy, it's just so fun. And he is the most humble, just talented guy. I mean, it's ridiculous. I just went to his house last year, excuse me, and he's got a ton of these like plaques on his wall, just all the accomplishments that he's done, which is amazing. But he's had music in all kinds of movies, film, TV, commercials, trailers, everything. So he really got his feet wet in what he's doing, and it's just wonderful to see a dream of his like that come true. And he did this Christmas album a couple years ago, and it was amazing, cinematic, just huge, really amazing. And then last year we did a live performance of that, which has been filmed and recorded, the audio and the video, which is available on YouTube and then for streaming everywhere. But that was the one that he invited me to be a part of, and that was at Belmont in Nashville. And so we got to do that with 100-piece choir, 60-piece orchestra. It was just amazing. And then like the next week after that was over, he texted all of us and said, hey, would you guys be free to do this next year, which is what we just did at the Grand Ole Opry? And we're like, duh, absolutely, that would be wonderful. So we just did that like 2 weeks ago, and it was so surreal, like seeing all of the memorabilia and stuff backstage and getting to kind of rejoin our little Christmas family and do that show. So yeah, it was so cool.
I would always be afraid to fall on my face in that instant. You did not. You knocked it out of the ballpark, and you were
Oh,
early
thanks.
in the concert, and you really helped set the tone for it all.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was Colton and I, before we go on, the last 2 times before we've gone on, we'll just look at each other like, I hope we don't crack. Like I hope our voices not crack, because it is so high, that song. And you're just belting like the whole time. So I'm glad we could do it some justice at least, because it was a beast.
Yeah, yeah. Before we jump back into what you're doing this weekend, your brother Michael has followed you to Nashville as well. He was going there on a basketball scholarship last I'd heard. Next thing I know, his
Mhm.
name's changed. He's grown a lot taller, and now he's going by the name of Moose.
Yeah, it's insane. Life has gotten there's so many twists and turns. He's doing unbelievably well there, and just really writing songs with some great people. He's working with Mark and Jen Bright, who Mark is like one of the best country music producers in Nashville. And they have tons of accolades. I'm sure you could look them up and everything, but they found my brother. I don't even remember how it all happened, but basically 3 or 4 years ago, my brother wouldn't even sing in front of me in the in our living room. And now he is writing with some amazing writers in Nashville, that take people years to get in with. And he's got, the best of the best vouching for him, and getting him out there, and he's doing shows. I know he's done some shows in Waverly and Chillicothe and just kind of hometown area as well. But he's doing so well, and I'm so proud of him. And he's an amazing songwriter and just getting better every single day at his craft and what he does. So it takes guts to kind of step off of one path that you thought you were gonna go down, and then say, actually, I'm gonna do what scares me. And he's just doing absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of him.
You go out there and you go on faith and see what happens. So
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, yeah, pretty much.
this weekend you've got Cory Breth performing together. This is a Thursday and Friday night performance at Roast Coffee. What can people expect to see? Those who have already got tickets.
Yeah, so it's going to be just a very cozy, intimate night of some classic Christmas songs. Corey has his own Christmas EP as well that he has put out in the recent years. So he's doing some different renditions of some classics that we all know and love. And then I think he's going to throw in a few originals, and then same with me. So we've kind of formed two sets where he'll be on first from about 6 to 6:45. And then I'll fill up the rest of that time toward the end, and we'll do a few songs together. Just really looking forward to a night that is just a piece of everyone's holiday plans that are coming, and to kind of bring a breath of calm for a second, because I know the holidays can be super stressful, especially if you're I feel like being a mom at Christmas time is super stressful. And I only have one kid and she's 2. She doesn't even know really a lot of what's happening, but um I just want people to feel a sense of relaxation when they come in, and to grab their favorite holiday drink. We're going to have some special drinks from Roast, and some merch too, some Christmas merch. And it's just going to be a chill night. And I want people to leave feeling refreshed and ready for their Christmas weekend. I know everyone has so many busy plans, so we're honored that 200 of them decided to join us. So it's going to be very fun.
That's great. If you want to find out information, just go to your website, right?
Yeah, that would be great.
And that address is?
Oh, IamHollyn.com. Yes, IamHollyn.com. And also, I think the night of, and don't quote me on this, but I think the night of, we've found a way to do about 25 more tickets for both nights, but they're gonna be at the door. So, and if you have any questions about that, I know Trent at Roast Coffee could assist. Like if you're in Chillicothe area and you want to go check and see if there's any like kind of last minute tickets available, you can do that. Those won't be for purchase on the website, but the night of, I think we're gonna have like 25 extra at the door. So that's happening, and I think that's all the information on that night.
Fantastic. Hollyn, great to catch up with you. And I don't know
Me
that I can
too.
make it this weekend, but certainly we'll probably see some videos and photos and everything on Facebook, as we usually follow everyone that way anyway. It's truly
Yes,
social
it's been.
media.
Yes, no, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's been awesome talking to you. I'm excited, and thanks to everyone in advance for supporting and coming out. And maybe next time we'll do it at a bigger space as well, maybe. So we could get some more people in there, and yeah, it'll be a blast.
And maybe next time from a different car.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Thank you
We'll
again for
see.
your time, and have a safe trip here, and welcome home for the holidays.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.